Okay. Hopefully it'll be cooler. That's the thought, at least. Should probably switch it around so I can zoom in. We might actually end up doing that. Switch it around so I can zoom. But for right now, let's just go with it. You know. Yeah. Let's see here. We can't edit anything. We're not going to tag anything. I'm just going to go make stuff. But I think we need to turn it around so we can, you know, do a little zoomy zoom. I think that might be the better option here. We put that all in there. Turn it around. And that way I can do that if I want to. But right now, we're not going to worry about zooming quite yet. Maybe on a heat we'll zoom and we'll get that going. But yeah, I think that'll be good. Yeah. All right. Squeeze my fat ass through here. So, like we were talking about before, we're doing a blacksmith knife, and let me know if it sounds okay. I think it does. Well, the last time it did, at the very least. So, we'll see. We'll get this piece of coil back up to temp, and we will then zoom in once it's at temperature. But like right now, we're just gonna hope that it's cool enough outside. Now, with it faced the other way, I'm not gonna be able to tell when it decides that it's too goddamn hot. So it's actually really nice outside. Besides the smoke, lots of smoke outside right now, but it's not too bad. You know, maybe I mean, is it really that big of a deal to zoom in? I mean, you're not really going to be able to see much, to be perfectly honest. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but maybe it is. I don't know. So basically, what we have to get when we're going to do these live shows more is we have to get, it's like 91 inside the shop. So it's probably like 89 before I started the forge. What we have to do here is we gotta get coolers for the backs of these, and they're basically just fans that go on them so that you can, keep it cool. And yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to do. But it is what it is. We do what we got to do right now. I don't think we're really going to want to zoom. We're still heating up anyways. I'm kind of, on edge about not being able to see the screen in case we know when it goes down. So what we're probably going to end up doing is flip-flopping this back around here, making everybody fucking sick. Because it's a hell of a ride when you're freaking riding when you're riding the camera angle, right? So what we're going to do here is we'll just flip this around. You can see how um, absolutely smoky it is. Now this one maybe you can. Might not, you can't. Oh yeah, you can zoom with this one too. Sweet. That is going to be outstanding. So we are going to be zooming in with this, and I can still see it. That's important. Super important. So please let me know if it sounds okay, if the audio is good. Please put a comment. I can see your comments. We have the tablet out, and I'd really like to know if it's good for you, because you're the only one that matters. Is what it is. Now we're going to do Blacksmith Knife. We talked about. We're just going to make this thing. It's just going to get, big. I mean, we're just going to make it however it turns out. And yeah, I'm not going to have, the only thing that I'm really planning here is make a knife. That's it. Make a knife. Everything else is just, just make a knife. There's no planning. I mean, I can't say for sure, because in my mind, as I'm thinking about it, I am thinking about various different profiles, but we just have to get this thing forged down and out. And we're going to go flat first. So we're going to take this completely flat. Now, on the last one we did, we isolated a piece out and squared it off, and then went through there with it. And we used a little bit of the press, and we used a little bit of the hammer, well, a lot of the hammer. But what we need to do is just get this flat, and then I'm going to start stretching out the handle. And it's going to be a blacksmith knife, but more of a refined blacksmith knife. It's more of the, what do you say, bladesmith look to it. But it's still a blacksmith knife. So a blacksmith knife is a knife that's just all metal. Doesn't have any no scales to it, no wood handle, no G10 handle, no fiberglass handle, no epoxy handle, nothing. Just metal. And that is what we're going for here. So, and also, don't be afraid to ask any questions. That's the important thing. We finally got this up and running, and hopefully it stays. But please ask questions, because I will, if you ask them now, with the potential of it to get too hot for it, maybe too hot. It's supposed to start drastically dropping off here. Ask them now, and I'll answer them. And then as we go, if we're still going, we're going to finish the entire knife tonight. So we're going to get it to the point at which we would go do a profile grind, right? And we're going to get it all back. Everything's going to be ready to go, just like the other one, before we go into the quench, stamping, heat treatment, stuff like that. So we're almost there. We're going to use the big hammer. Got to do a lot of work here. We're going to be using our barrel tongs here for it, or bolt tongs. We have just a little bit more to go. I hope it's let me pull this headphone off here and see if I can't hear it. I mean, I can't hear it through there, but that doesn't mean it's not going. I guess we'll find out if it's going or not, you know, and how good the feed is. I mean, it looks like it's not too bad. So, looks pretty good actually. All right, let's get it out of the forge and do our first heat here. Like I said, we're just taking this down flat. We're gonna do one side, then we'll do the other. And this is 5160, so it does not like, absolutely does not like being work freaking cold. So there's not a lot of high carbon steels to do. You can get away with it, like on a 1075, a little bit of a 1084. You can get away with doing it, but 5160, absolutely not. No way. No way. This is cool. And I can just turn this switch right here and turn the volume up on being able to hear the ambient noise out there. So if I need to talk to someone, I can. It's pretty neat. But I don't need that right now. Okay. Almost ready for number 2. Once we get this a little bit flat here, we're going to be able to really have a look at what we're going to make. Rotate the other side. Throw her on back in there. I mean, this is going to be big. There's a lot of steel in this. There's a lot of steel in this. So, we're probably at, 5/16, maybe 3/8. So, there's a lot of steel. It's pretty good. There's a lot of downtimes. This is what you don't get to see when it's just a film or a pre-recorded video. You don't get to see this in between stuff, standing around, doing nothing. There's not a lot of time in between, but minute here, 30 seconds there, depending on how cold you let it get. Alright, so we're going to start really spreading this out. I want to spread this out 360. So we're probably going to take it. I mean, this hammer could do it, but we're going to go with our straight peen here. It has more of a rounded face to it, big old wide round face. Now, I'm hammering down each side and then back up the middle when I'm doing this, so that we get a nice even look at it. We'll put it back in there, and we'll do the same thing to the other side. So we're first getting it flat, taking it from the round to flat, and then we'll start isolating. We're about a 1/4 inch thick on the piece we just did, so we'll get there right around that area for the next one. And I kind of want to keep it kind of that way. And then we'll put our nose in, and we'll start working our blade out. We won't even get a screw with the tang right now, or the handle, because the handle will get there. The handle will come in. We want to get it down about a 1/4 inch, and then start drawing off our blade here, off the blade side, working that nose in, getting a good, thick, heavy profile. Almost to the point. We're going to use the slotted jaws now. Should be right there where we can get them. Oh yeah, slotted jaws give us so much dexterity. Feels like you're holding on to it with your hand. Okay, at that 1/4 inch, we're going to work from the same side we were just working from. We're going to take down, we're going to come this way. We're going to have a slant here where it's kind of going that way. This will be our edge side. Now, a lot of people, they'll start hammering their spine side first down and then bring the tip back to create their edge side, but that's not how I do it. I do it exactly how I pick the side that I want my spine on. I pick the side that I want my edge on, and I just go with it. I don't screw around with these. Oh, we're gonna hammer the spine down and then kick it back. I don't do that shit. I'm not saying that's wrong. It's just not how I do it. It's 100 degrees in here, 10% humidity. Feels good. Just after dinner, getting the blood flowing. Feels really good. All right, here we go. We're going to continue using that 2.5 pounder there for this work, since we're still really thick. A few hits on that corner. Really upset this down. Got a little bit of a lap there. Let's see if we can't get that off with the hand file here. We don't want to beat that in the middle, so we're gonna hot file that off. Get this in the vise here. We get a glove on here because it's going to get hot. We're going to grab one of these files from over here and really probably should rasp it off with one of our Farrier's rasps, because that'll take it off real quick. We really need to get my other freaking post vise put in the ground in here. Really need to do that. Go for this thicker one here. We're getting it. That's the problem. If you're not careful, you'll make more work for yourself. That's what we got going on here. Just making more work for ourselves. Thank you, brother. Much appreciated. We just made a ton more work for ourselves by absolutely not paying attention to what we were doing and put a piece of lap over. And if I leave that in there, what's going to happen is that it will just waller out a divot in the side of our blade, and it won't be worth a shit at that point. So that's what we're trying to get rid of here, is that piece on here. It's just a little flap right now, so it's almost gone. You have to do this if you get a flap on there. Otherwise, it'll show up in your work, and we don't want that at all. It was 103 in the shop. All right, we got that pretty well taken care of. And that was just an errant blow. That's all it was. Just not a good blow with the hammer. you know. So it ended up putting a lap over. And if I would have been thinking about it, basically, I could have hit that back, put it back in place, but I didn't. That's okay. Good footage for anybody out there wondering, what do you do when you get a freaking lap or you overhit something? Well, that's what you do. You take your old files you have here that still have bite to them, but barely any bite to them, but they do really good when the metal's hot, but don't do so well when the metal's cold, and you just grind that stuff off. Now, we could have taken our angle grinder and done the same thing. One pass, done. But not everybody has an angle grinder. Now, and the reason you're not seeing the forge is because it really doesn't matter what I'm using. Whether I'm using a solid fuel, a gas, coal, charcoal, natural gas, propane, it does not matter what type of fuel or fire you have, garbage can, it doesn't matter. You will be able to freaking do all of this even in a burn barrel. That's how a lot of people I've talked to, how they got started. Just poke a hole in the side of the burn barrel and stick a piece of metal in there and then beat it on a rock. The reason I like these slotted jaws too, they allow you to really beat back into the jaws, and you have a nice back to work from. Okay, so we have a nice start to a tip there. We're gonna stick it back in there and we're gonna start widening this out, really coming down hard. We're gonna take our hammer, we're gonna go up the cutting edge, flip down the cutting edge, flip up the center, down the spine, flip up the spine, down the center, or a variation of that. Edge, edge, spine, spine, center, center, however you decide to do it. And we're gonna widen this blade out. And 360, so we're widening out and we're lengthening. And since this is so thick still, we're not going to use our 1 pound hammer. We're going to stick with the 2.5 pound cross peen here, and use our slotted jaws. It gives us the most dexterity. I'll show you the slotted jaws in this, after this next heat. It's like, right now it has that buffalo skinner look. So these are the slotted jaws. Allows me to hold on to some pretty big stuff. Have absolute control over it, where you're not pulling it out. I could take this railroad spike knife here drill that into the top up there in the ceiling and hang from that. And it will never come out as long as I'm holding on to these reins. Very, very nice tool. Super cool. Now you don't want to overheat this 5160. So I'm going to turn this down just a little bit more. Do not want to overheat. I'm on the spine, going back across the spine here. Working my way down to the center, towards the edge. Doing my last pass up here on the edge. We'll do one more heat here, and then we'll start taking it down by putting it on its spine and hammering down. I mean, I could leave it there, but that buffalo skinner really looks good with a handle on it. I mean, yeah, it really looks good with a handle on it, and I don't want this to be a buffalo skinner. I know that for certain. So we're going to take and change out hammers on the 1-pounder here. We'll go on the edge one more time. Nice and light here on the edge. I'm going to work my way up into the center. I'm going to finish with some lighter planishing blows along the spine. So these blows have, they're less arm, more wrist. Less arm, more wrist. So I'm flicking that wrist really hard there. Okay, so here's what we have. Yeah, slotted jaw tongs are absolutely the best. Absolutely. Hey, what's up there, guys? Everybody, thank you for showing up here. Okay, so we're going to take that down. It has a really big banana on it, right? Actually has a great profile for, I keep saying, the buffalo skinner. If you're unsure what one looks like, go Google buffalo skinner. Tell you all you need to know. Like the epitome of the skinning workhorse knife back in the 1800s. So really, it's a great knife to just work meat with, period. But I don't think I want it to be a buffalo skinner right now. Like I was saying before, a buffalo skinner really needs a good handle on it. And I'm not saying this is going to have a good handle, but blacksmith knives are very novelty. And not saying you can't use them, but they are less, let's say, less likely to be used for what they're designed for. All right, if that makes any sense at all. All right, so we're going to stand this up on its spine here. We're going to just kind of lightly hammer down on our edge, upsetting that edge back into itself. Since we have these slotted jaws, they give a really good back. Hold it against your hip. Really hammer that tip in pretty hard. Come down, make sure everything's straight going back inside the forge. This is how we keep our thicknesses good as well. So there is that right there. This in itself is still a really good working blade here. Very good working blade. Yep, Coil Spring knife. Very good working blade. Just keeping it like this. It's like a reverse sheep's foot. So that would be a sheep's foot. You'd have the cutting edge down here. This is actually the spine. It's like a reverse sheep's foot. This big belly here would just glide through an animal. And if you do the grind right, it'll have a fat body in the spine and center, and then kind of rounded like a speed bump going towards the edge, and then it'll dive off right into the edge. So you're going to have about 3/16. We got really nice. So what we're going to end up doing, we're going to set this back here even farther, and we're going to zoom in. We're going to zoom in. So we got really hot, and it does not like that at all. I mean, obviously, but so we had to pull it back, to put it in front of the fan, pull it back a little bit, and go from there. So apologize to everybody for that. All right, so now though, we've had our piece in that fire for too damn long. Now we need to freaking let it cool off here a little bit. So I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to pull this out here and kind of let it cool down. Well, we end up shutting down. It's 106 right now, and the camera was too close. So we moved it back, and now we're back going. So it's just too much inside the shop, and yeah, not good. Which reminds me, I'm going to move this guy back out here to the shop so that we can make sure we can see your guys' comments. So it wasn't on your end, it was on my end. Okay, now we're going to put this on its edge and hammer our spine down. I want this to really stretch out here. And that's why I need to get coolers for the cameras, so that this doesn't happen. I think I know what I want to make here, folks. I think I want to make a kitchen knife out of this. So a kitchen knife has it's like a drop point. Majority of them are a drop point. We're specifically going to make as long of a chef knife as we possibly can. I made up my mind now. That's what we're working for, is a chef knife. Now, hopefully my sound is good. Let me check it here real quick. Bam. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. Much appreciated. So we'll do more of these. I mean, if you guys prefer the live stuff over the video versions, let me know in the comments, please. Or if it's a 50-50 or whatever percentage it is, let me know. I don't mind doing this live all the time. I just need to get coolers for my equipment so that it stays cool. All right, now we're going to go back to the edge side here, and we're going to start hammering this point in. I'm holding it up, like my tongs down, so I'm holding the piece up so I get there's a couple different ways to do a chef knife. You can have the cutting edge meet the spine, still a good chef knife. Or you can have the spine come down just above center, and the edge come up to meet it for a drop point style. Or you can go all the way like just below center so that you're coming up a little bit. I'm not a big fan of those. I'm a huge fan of rocker chefs, so they have a big belly on them, huge belly, so you can just really get a good rhythm and motion going on them. And I think that's what we're going to go for, is kind of a flat back, get a good rocker on it. Yeah, live really doesn't work for scheduling. It's just like, you get in here and with how hot it's been, you gotta, realistically, I should have started like here, not for another hour. So, I mean, it's hit or miss. But I love doing the lives. It's like I'm doing a live demo. Just like if you're sitting here in the shop with me, that's what it feels like to me, for me, is when you guys are commenting, interacting, it feels like we're all right there, having a good old time, shooting the shit. So I like doing them. I'm going to continue doing them. Used to do them all the time when I was just on Facebook. And just recently we were able to start doing them with the use of the cell phone instead of getting any specialized equipment. We do have some specialized equipment out here to be able to do it, but it didn't work as well. So this is going to be forged finish too, forged to finish. So let me clarify. There's a big difference between forged finish and forged to finish. So forged finish is when you leave a lot of your work in it. So it's pitted, small changes in elevation on the steel, where you get that pitted look to it. Forged to finish has the same look. It's this that we use all of our hammers and we go all the way down to our smallest hammer to draw out that edge, to where we literally just have to freaking buff the damn thing and put a bevel on it, and we're good. So we're going to do forge to finish on this. Now we're back on the spine because a chef knife needs a point to it. Spine, edge, spine, edge, spine, edge. And the edge the spine and the edge is really thick still. Really thick. We're probably A little under 3/16 on the edge and right a little over 3/16, not by a lot, on the spine side. I'm really liking these too. If you guys do any live work on YouTube or anything like that, these are like 65 bucks on Amazon, and they have a knob here to where you can turn this up and I can hear myself banging on this on that wood, but I can't hear it when I'm here. It's really dead. It's really thudded out, and so I can hear somebody talking to me having that on. I really like these. We have a tempering oven back here. We're gonna quench in oil. It's just vegetable oil, and I'm probably gonna end up doing a torch temper on it. I'll just draw my I'll completely soften the spine, take it all the way back through the handle, and just draw my colors down to the edge. That's probably what I'll end up doing, is torch tempering. Having as little contact with, electrical stuff as possible is my plan, at least. So we got to start getting this tip pushed in, kind of flattened out here. We got to get a good, almost like a paring point on this. You want a good paring point on your chef knife, whether it's a short chef, which a short chef is like, let's see here, 7 or 8 inches, and a large chef is 10 or above. Right now it still has a belly to it. Still has a belly, almost like a camp knife look to it right now. 107 here in the shop, folks. Feels pretty good. I got that big 3-foot freaking fan, circular fan, moving air around, so it's sucking a lot of that cooler air from the outside into the shop. Back up on the spine. Okay, now we're really cooking with freaking gasoline right here. Alright, we're going to really start drawing this edge out now. We'll really start drawing this edge. Right now it's a basic camp knife profile. We want it to be a nice chef knife. We're going to have a little bit of a downward nose to it. Barely though. Barely any drop to that freaking spine. I want to get the edge kind of drawn out a little bit more before we start working on our before we really start working on the damn, what am I thinking of? Oh, the handle. The handle. Lost my brain there for a minute. Yeah. And we probably won't get it all the way done tonight. We're gonna get it. We're gonna get it out there. I mean, this is probably gonna be 2 to 3 hour freaking thing here. 2 to 3 hour thing that we do. I keep seeing shit pop on my computer. That's why I keep running up there. But it's just Max sharing a bunch of stuff. Okay. We got a relatively thick spine here. We're going to start working on our edge again. Really drawing this edge out. Which is going to banana the shit out of our freaking knife. But that's okay. I'm going from only one side on this heat. Yeah, it's definitely you, Mac. It's definitely you, buddy. Oh. No, here pretty soon we'll have memberships on here. We'll have memberships on YouTube. We got to meet certain qualifications before we do that. But right now we have them on Patreon. But I'd really like to keep everything underneath one roof, if at all possible. And so basically, what I want to do eventually, I want to be able to have to where we have Discord only nights, to where those can get on Discord to shoot the shit, watch me make a piece, and then we basically give it away. The piece that we make, so if we have a Discord night once a month, the piece that's made during that is given away for free to, well, it's not for free because you guys pay a monthly subscription fee, but it's given away to those that are on the Discord that night. So that's the ultimate goal, at least. It's the ultimate goal. Right now, this would be a nice little freaking meat knife with that upward turn right there. Be a nice little meat knife, but we're not looking for a meat knife. We're looking for a chef knife. So we're going to flip it over, and we're going to come back on the spine. Kind of half to center line, half on the spine. As we get out to the edge, we don't hit as hard. Come back up the center line, taking a lot of that out, back on the spine, hitting it hard where it's nice and thick. We get out to the end, don't hit it as hard. We're going to flip it over this heat. We're going to come back, we're going to make it straight. We're really, really thick on this spine. We don't want it super thick on the spine. I don't want to have to grind the spine. I want to keep all of my work into it, which is why you also don't see me brushing off. Every time I beat that scale into that freaking surface, it pits it slightly, so that when I take my Scotch-Brite to it, it just has ever so slightly that forged look. It almost looks more like it's been it's super old and it's been rust corroded. Like when you clean a rusty knife off, it's pitted. That's what I'm go. That's the look that I go for when I make a forged finish knife. Is pits, not hammer marks. Remember that, pits. Just don't clean your steel. Okay, so we're just about done with this early stage forging on this on the blade here. What we're going to end up doing is that shot. God damn, my eyes playing tricks on me. The side of the right here was looking like it was frozen. That's funny. So we're almost done with the initial forge here. I want to start getting my handle roughed out. That's going to tell me how much more. I left it thick back there in case I need to add more to the blade. If I have too much handle, then I can take some of it out and, make that into my curly Q. It's going to come up. It's going to have kind of a rat tail look to it. Well, a reverse squirrel tail, probably more apt to it. By the way I do it, they kind of look like lizard tails. But we're going to do one more heat out here on this blade side. One more. Going to hammer that down right there. We're going to tip this up really heavy and come back into the spine. Help isolate that tip there. We're going to kind of hang this off. It's a little bit cold, so we're hitting it kind of soft, really ginger. I want to thicken up this edge just a little bit more. So we're really thick on this spine. We're really thick. So we're going to flip this around and do the other side. We're going to stay using our wolf jaws though. Not wolf jaws, slotted jaws. Well, yeah, we'll stay using the slotted jaws. But I'm not going to stick the blade all the way in there. I'm just sticking the tang portion. We're going to change out hammers. It's not too bad. We're going to go with our cross peen here, 2.5 pound cross peen. I wonder if somebody brought me water. Ooh, I wonder if there's any water in the fridge. No, there's beer in the fridge. I don't want any beer. I'm not a beer drinker anymore. No water. I need to get me some water. Get me some water. It's 108 at 7:30. 108. Not bad. Not bad. So here in August, we'll be doing a lot of freaking smithing. We have to get canisters done. This is mosaic. I have to get these mosaics finished because in September, we're having our Blue Mountain Blacksmith Guild gathering to finish these up. Handle plans. Well, normally on a blacksmith knife, we do something like that. Right? This is going to be flat in here on the one we're working on. And we're going to come back, we're going to have a finger catch here. It's going to swell back here and taper out to a tail. That tail is going to wrap around this way and sit on the side of the knife right there. It'll make better sense when we get to it. Riley, take some water. Water. Oh. I guess they are getting the water. All right, we're going to start on the back side here. The tail end of our piece. So this would be like a camp chef. Oh, wonderful ice water. Nice.
Storm's supposed to be coming this way.
Yeah, I can see it out there. We got so many fires. We have a dry freaking thunderstorm coming in. Not good. Not good at all. Okay. All right, here we go. We might be able to get this to where it's looking pretty tonight. That'll be cool. That'll be cool. Once you start drinking water, you need to keep drinking water. Oh. So while that's heating up, this is the next video coming out, folks. This is a basket twist steak turner coming out in August. Basket twist steak turner. And when we have, this will be my twist demos. Then we have the alligator or pineapple twist turner that'll be coming out. But that basket twist one will be available in August on my website at rustyarmforge.com/catalog. I think I decided $75 shipped for that. And then the other one will be available in August. We won't have a video on that one. We did a live feed. We may do another live feed. But yeah. We'll start having lots of different blacksmith items available at rustyarmforge.com/catalog. Right now, we have, let's switch hammers. Right now we have a spike knives galore. Got like probably 30 spike knives to be finished out and put up there. All different handle styles and everything on them. So got to champ for this a little bit. Push that back center. Start to get a little bit of a twist on it. It is work. It's a lot of work. The pineapple twist that we did, it was done with a chisel, and so there's a little more work involved for the pineapple twist. But the basket twist was done. Still a lot of work in the basket twist, But I used a cutoff wheel and an angle grinder to do the basket twist just to get through it quicker. We could have chiseled down through it like anything else, but we didn't. Okay, we're going to start using a smaller hammer here, down to our 1 pounder here, our half ball, our little workhorse. I'm going to start really isolating this back up in here. Got a little bit of a twist to it. Kind of chamfer these edges out, push it back center. Taking a little bit colder, not a lot colder, a little bit. I'll show it here on the next one. We're going to get this next one really done up here nicely. This next heat here. Now, I'm going to change tongs. We're going to go into our tusk tongs here. Knife tongs, tusk tongs. We'll start having a good source of tongs out there here once we get back into smithing. We haven't been smithing a lot because we've been addition to the shop, bedroom / shed, working on the house we just bought here. Well, it's been 2 years, but basically just bought it. And it's just been a lot of other shit that needed to be done. Those that own houses know what I'm talking about. There's just a lot of extra stuff you got to do. Even though this is what you would rather be doing, you got to do all the other stuff first. So we also have my masterclass videos coming out here in 2025. And if we don't have the subscription on YouTube by then, they'll be available for $10 a month on Patreon. And it's like 12 to 15 videos you'll get for $10 a month. All the way from beginning blacksmithing, how to start, how to make a forge, starting with a dirt forge, working your way up, how to make a forge without a welder, how to make a forge without a forge, and we'll go on from there. And we'll just teach you how to become a blacksmith on a budget, you know? I mean, because there's no sense in just breaking the bank. All the way up through freaking forge welding techniques, all the different techniques, wet, dry, non-atmospheric, dirty welds, you know, where you're just floating your material out there on your flux, building up a billet, one piece at a time, wire billets. We'll do some, you know, blacksmith sculpting in the classes as well. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to work back from the bolster area and that finger catch. This blade is not going to have a ricasso. So it goes from cutting, finger catch, bolster area, all the way back into the pommel area. We're going to call this the Camp Chef. It's just basically going to be a camp knife though. But we're going to try and make it just a touch thinner than a camp knife. Just a touch. Oh, let's see here. We're going to need, I'm going to dog's head this on this heat, I think, we need to get a good sense of our width on here, how much we want to take down. We don't want to spread this super long if we don't have to. So I'm going to dog's head this back from the blade all the way through the tang so that we can get a sense of length. Force is a little hot, a little hot, a little hot. So on the dog's heading, it's elbow. You're swinging from your elbow, that's it. Keeping a relatively stiff wrist. I say relative because it still breaks over a little bit. But you just from the elbow, you're lifting your shoulder like this. Bam. You're just doing a shrug, a small shrug with your shoulder. A dog's head. Okay, so this is a dog's head. That's a dog's head hammer. It is extremely flat so that you can planish with it. It's this is not a Japanese dog's head. Japanese dog's heads come way down here like that. This was one of my first hammers that I ever built way back when, about, probably 10 years ago. Been doing this for 14, 15 years now, or 10 years ago, and it was going to be a straight peen. The straight peen didn't work out, so I cut it off, and it's my dog's head. But that's a dog's head. It's extremely flat. And it will absolutely wear your ass out. Absolutely wear it out. If you're not when you're learning how to use it, because it's so flat. Allows me to take everything down in thickness. Very controlled, like in 360 degrees. And taper everything away from the tip into the spine, because a good knife will have a distal taper on both ends, no matter how you're looking at it. Okay, now we're really going to isolate the blade. That's the play right now. We're going to isolate the blade. And we're going to do that by forging in our finger catch. Really isolate this blade. I'm really liking how it's looking. It's not going to stay that way, but I'm really liking the way it looks. I really do. Water break. I think we stopped climbing temperature-wise. We've evened out at 108. Ambient temperature outside's dropping faster than it can heat up in here, and so it's starting to even out. We'll start dropping temperature inside the shop here pretty soon, which is good. I'm not certain we'll get this fully completed to the point to where we're ready to do some finishing on it, but I'm going to try and get it there. I'm going to try. Okay, so we're going to go with our wolf jaws here, grooved wolf jaws. We're going to use the ball peen side of our hammer and really start working the finger catch area. Let's probably actually use a different, I'm going to use a different set of tongs. I need some dexterity here. My hands are, when you haven't been smithing for a while, your hands get rather soft. And no matter what you're doing, if you're not swinging a hammer all the time, you're going to have to break your hands back in. And that's what I'm going through right now, is having to break my hands back in. I think I'm going to use a small ball peen for this. We need a smaller finger catch. We don't want to stretch this out a huge amount. So we're going to use a different ball peen here. Get a little bit going. Get that lip going there. Get that flare on there. Remember, you don't want to create a lap in there. So you got to get a little bit hanging out there. Come back with the hammer. Hammer it back in. A little bit going. Hammer it back in. So you'll rarely use that in there, but I can move the steel. So I'm going to get my finger catch done to where it's a single finger in there, and then I'm going to move where I know it's a single finger. Then I'm going to upset that steel back towards itself, because when you're using a chef, you're usually pinching anyways, and you're holding with these three fingers in the back. That's another thing. I can't wait to get my big anvil in here. I don't have it yet, but I need to get one. And so it can just be that immovable object that sits right in the middle of the shop. Oh, I had to get my wife's attention out there behind the camera because I a little bit appreciate some more water. And maybe this won't be a chef. I mean, I keep on looking at it, and it's not screaming chef. It's too thin. I mean, it's too thick. It's not screaming chef. It's screaming just a nice camp knife. Maybe that's what I should keep it as. I mean, it's yelling at me to keep it that way. What do you guys think? Good camp knife, or keep going for a chef? Yeah, it could double as a flatter. Exactly. What do you guys think? It's screaming freaking camp at me though. We could go the chef, but there might not be enough steel there to really get a good looking chef. I might start calling it a chef, and it really just be a camp knife, you know. So I think, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think. Let me show it to you guys without all the the frills here in the way. That just screams camp knife to me. Not a chef. Not a chef. Well, you got to tell me what 15 to 30 centimeters is, and you got to speak American, freaking Mac. You need to speak American. You know, we fought a whole war not to have to speak freaking English, right? English speak. English maths. Thanks, honey. Appreciate it. We're almost there, guys. We're getting. It's looking really good. I'm thinking camp. We're just gonna keep it at camp. Yeah, I mean, it's looking less chefy. 6 to 12. Oh, it's definitely, it's like 7-inch blade. We're like a 7-inch blade. Oh, Dusty evac? Why Dusty evac? What, over on in Troy? Sorry, guys. I'm tracking fires right now. We got a lot of friends and family in the way of these fires. I'm going to get this thing knocked out here, and we'll get her finished. Maybe not tonight. We'll get her finished. But I won't do this again. I won't work on this one until you guys are here. That way you guys can. All right, we're going to start moving this. Come back into itself here, moving our finger catch. Really coming down hard on this tail. Going to start moving that backside of the finger catch towards the bolster. That it didn't really change much, so actually, well, I'll show it to you guys, and then next feed is going to change a lot. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to take this headset off. Come over here. Take this headset off real quick. Yeah, the Cougar Creek. Yeah, we got lots of family up there. Family and friends, Cougar Creek fire. They just told Troy residents to evacuate, which Troy is no stranger to having to deal with fires, but that's not good. My parents live in Florida. So I'm coming back into me right here. Back into this tip, this peak right here. So I'm pushing it. Now it's kind of cold. I'm not doing it really hard. I'm just trying to get a good look at what we have going on by forging it just a little bit longer. So that changed drastically from the last one. So that'll be good right there. We may need to move it a little bit more, but I don't know. I'm gonna work on that tang. We're gonna draw that tang out now, folks. Now these are legit. Well, all the fires, Mac, have been started by humans. If I can speak. What? Yeah, so the Cougar Creek one was started by a fucking idiot, basically. Aren't they all fucking idiots? But, you know, accidents do happen. They do. But, I don't know. You got to be doing some either real stupid shit or just be a total douche. That's my belief, anyways. You're either dumber than a freaking box of rocks, or you're just a douchebag. Okay, so we're gonna do some. Okay, for those Smiths out there, you got an old trailer hitch ball? Bam. Put a Hardy on it, call it good. Yeah, well, don't get me started on there, Mac. Don't get me started down that fucking road. Let me tell you what. Let's not go there. So right now, I'm taking and really working this down here on this piece. Really want to draw out this tail, get everything upset where I need to upset it. Using the flat side of the hammer on this one. So really push that back into itself. So the ball, it helps, well, it's really good for making spoons, but it's also good for setting finger catches. It's basically in there to just clean that up, make it nice and smooth. It's all. Now come here on the edge, champ for these edges a little bit. We're going to chamfer inside this finger catch here. Round all that out. We're almost there, folks. Almost there. We're just gonna. I think we have enough of a tail to make this work. We're looking for about a 4.5, 4 3/4 inch handle. Whew! It's hot. Hey, we're at 107 now. We're going to draw this out into a point. Draw our tail out into a point. All right, we're going to heat this up. We're going to hit it with the dog's head. Ah! This could be a right-handed knife. You guys are laughing. I know. Right-handed knife. The reason it's a right-handed knife is the tail is going to come up and lay on the left-hand side. So when you're looking at it at the maker's mark, so the right-hand side of a knife is the show side. The left-hand side is, go fuck yourself side. I'm left-handed too. But the right-hand side of a knife is the show side. So the maker's mark goes. And so we're going to take that tail, we're going to lay it right up on the side of the left side. So that left side is, I had that backwards. Hold on. Left side of your knife is the show side. Right side is the go fuck yourself side. A right-handed knife always has the stuff on the left side of the knife. Blade's still hot. All I'm doing is doing planishing blows here. It's just straightening everything out. This has kind of a clip to it. I kind of like it. I actually really do. I like it. I do. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys this. We're going to get this done, at least to the handle done, and then we're going to put it aside for the night. We're going to stick this in there. We're going to put our scroll on it, and then we'll use our scrolling hardy here. So the scrolling hardy is just a pair of forks that fit down in the hardy hole. We're going to use our small hammer to set our squirrel tail. Now, when you do the squirrel tail, you want it to flow spine of the knife down and scroll like that. All right. So you're bending that around. So you got to take and do your scroll backwards and then bend it on. So we're going to scroll backwards. Create a nice little close scroll on here. Try and get it as centered as possible. There. Okay. So there is our tail. And we're going to lay that. We're going to come around. We're going to lay it right here. Oh, man. Whew. It is. Well, I won't be using any. I will be using, if you're talking about like a wooden stick, I could use an old hammer handle. But I don't think we're going to have to. I do not think we're going to have to do that. Whew. I'm tired, folks. I am tired. Let me tell you what. Okay. We're not done yet. Oh. I can feel it. That heat. Done with my second glass of water. We're almost done. I'm going to wait to drink another some more water. Oh, we're done here. Yeah, I don't want to get it. I don't want to get it too cold, so we're going to put it back in there. I'm actually good. I'm just tired is all. You know, I could go for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. It's just, I'm at that point where I'm starting to get my second wind a little bit here. And it's just starting to feel a little bit hot is all. Now, I'm probably going to take a little more of that blade out when we do some grinding, but I really, really like that, folks. I really do. We'll take a little more of that blade out there. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat this up and bang it on the anvil and see what kind of movement we can get out of it. I can take a little bit of the finger catch out when I go hit the grinder, which will allow you to have a better grip on that. I could also take that tail out just a little bit more too. Who knows, by the time we're done with this might end up being a nice little skinning knife. I mean, that's the beauty of not having a plan when you start out. It doesn't matter what the hell it turns out to, as long as it turns out to something useful. Plain and simple. Alright, see you later. Yeah, that is... I think we're going to leave that like that for now, folks. We're going to let this cool off in the forge. There's a lot of tension under this. We'll be able to take some of this out here in the grinding and really turn this into a nice looking knife. So I'm going to put this in the forge. We're going to shut down and we'll get you out of here. Whew. Man, that was fun. That was a lot of fun, folks. I really appreciate everybody that stayed and watched, and hopefully you guys had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. We'll do more of this stuff. And like I said, we have the basket twist steak turner coming out in August. The video coming out. It'll all be for sale at rustingerforge.com/catalog. We'll have this knife up on there. We'll have the Rubik's Cube knife up on there, ready to go. And these will all be have the availability of having a sheath made for them too. So if you do choose to purchase it, just let me know. We will, get you a sheath made, and we'll discuss more. So, all right, we're gonna let you guys go. We got a storm coming in tonight. We got fires everywhere. We got family in the way of those fires. So if you're religious or anything like that, please say a prayer for all the people caught in the fires right now. It's much appreciated. Yeah, we're gonna let you go. I'm gonna go get some water. I want you guys to stay safe out there. I know this time, this day and age, with everything that's going on in the world, in the United States, it's terrible. But don't get down too much. Don't hate your fellow man. Be better than your fellow man as much as you possibly can. And just get out there and do what you need to do. But stay safe. Please stay safe. Be well as always. And for